all lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
I need to have another one of these.
Amen, amen.
Shit.
This is way over the edge. Like we it's not even over the edge. We died already.
This is beyond the event horizon. Like we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah, we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah.
All gravity, any day above ground, live it.
I'm back.
That's for those who were in the last live. But we here this morning. We got to talk about this Lake Lanier, boy. Now y'all know I'm down here in Georgia, and I'm not stepping foot nowhere near that place if I can help it. But it seemed like folk just don't heed the warnings. They see this and think because it's so infrequent that they ain't gonna get touched. All right, we'll find out. But before we do that, we have a guest. Yes, we do. And he's gonna help me with this commentary. We're not gonna be here long because you're gonna get True Crime Sunday. So you'll get 3 lives, technically 4, back to back to back to back. Sounds better than Drake. But anyway. Let's see. Brother Torian Rain, are you there?
I'm here. What's going on?
He's there. He just finished doing 300 push-ups. Now, when you did these push-ups, did you chant, I'm not going to Lake Lanier?
Today was my rest day, and I still wouldn't be going to Lake Lanier.
There you go. But for some reason, they always put that on the Georgia tourism website. They really don't care about these people. But anyway, yes, today we will be discussing Lake Lanier and going over some of the unfortunate demises of some people. But before we do that, let's see who's in the building. Jerry Bedford, hello. Wallow J, hello. Reparations Nation, hello. Gamers Den, hello. Eddie Foster, hello. Miss Nisi, hello. Let's see. Nightfall Drop, hello. Kelvin Black, hello. DSB, hello. Jacoby, hello. And for those who haven't said anything in the live chat comments, hello. All right, let's get into it. You know what we got to do. We got some videos, we got some articles, but we have to do the customary house cleaning. Unfortunately.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purpose, such as criticism, commenting, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, education, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
All right, we're going to start here because this just happened. I don't know, Torian, did you go over this yet?
No, I didn't really have any plans of going over because it's a broken record at this point. And I feel like I just did a commentary about what happened at Lake Lanier with the one who jumped in the water and couldn't swim, the one who died with the life vest on.
Yeah, and they said it was unsecured.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his fault. But this just happened July 3rd, I believe. Yeah. Let's take a look. Oh, it's playing up here. I don't like their website too tough, but you know. We're gonna make it work, family. We're gonna make it work. Get to work! Where is the sound? Where's the boat? There's the boat. And they got the nerve to keep playing the music. They out of line. All right, let's see. 7 people were hurt in a boat explosion at Lake Lanier on Friday, according to a spokesman for the Georgia Department of Natural Resources. Initially, 5 were reported injured by the Hall County Fire Department. According to DNR, the victims range in age from as old as 45 to as young as 5 years old. The emergency response happened at about 7 p.m. at Lanier Islands Parkway. DNR said the boat that exploded and caught fire was a 23-foot cabin cruiser that was being towed in Landshark Cove near Margaritaville. Initially, rescue boat crew members said the vessel had 5-foot-high flames and 5 patients in need of care. 4 patients were taken to Grady Memorial Hospital, 1 via air rescue. 1 was taken to NAGMEC, Gainesville. All was stable, according to the Hall County Fire Department. The boat fire was put out with a portable pump and with assistance from Gainesville Fire's Marine Rescue Boat. Hall County Fire Rescue said it had been towed to the shore is no longer aflame. The cause of the explosion is unknown and is under investigation. We know what happened, but we're not going to tell you because you won't listen.
Thanks for being with us. I'm Wendy Corona. It is coming to us from Hall County on Lake Lanier. That's where a boat exploded on a crowded and festive Lake Lanier around 7 this evening. The Department of Natural Resources confirms 7 people are hurt. That includes a 5-year-old child. We have live Team 2 coverage with Channel 2 Action News reporters at the lake.
They had to use
and
the
also
team
at the
for this.
where many of the injured were taken. But we begin right now with Channel 2's Aaron Rogers live at Lake Lanier. And Aaron, the lake was very busy with families boating, enjoying this holiday, and that explosion happened.
It did, Wendy, and I want to show you just how busy. We actually just pulled up about 10 minutes ago because you can see all of this traffic with people trying to leave the lake. I did speak to some people out here who said they saw the aftermath of that explosion with all the emergency vehicles, but I want to show you where they told me it happened. I'm going to have my photographer, Ebenezer, pan and zoom in there. You see the flash.
Is his last name Scrooge?
I was wondering the same thing. Well, not the last name, but I mean, like, wow, what a name, Ebenezer.
Ebenezer.
Flashing lights all the way down there. They say that is where that explosion happened earlier this evening. But let me show you some video that we got earlier to show you that fire. You can see this boat completely on fire and smoke filling the air over this lake. Hall County Fire and Rescue says it happened around 7 this evening. The DNR says 7 people suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns, and the victims do range between 5 years old and 45 years old. And we also just got these pictures into our newsroom of firefighters putting out those flames. They were able to get the fire out and tow that boat to shore. Hall County Fire, though, says 2 people did have to be air flighted to the hospital. And again, investigators still aren't sure what caused that explosion. The DNR said the boat was already being towed when it happened, but what exactly sparked those flames, that is something they are going to be working to figure out. Reporting live at Lake Lanier in Hall County, I'm Erin Rogers, WSB Tonight.
You know, it's a day of festivity and fun with people, especially out there on the water, and no one ever wants to see the day end like this.
They didn't even get to the white man. You saw that?
Right.
Damn. They said you was good enough. All right, so there was that one. Now, again, this just happened 3 days ago. Then we have this one. Now, this one happened last year. A Georgia man is the latest deletion at Lake Lanier. Theories tie the haunted lake to a county's difficult past. I'm going to bring this back up. Okay. A Georgia man fishing at Lake Lanier drowned on Wednesday, marking the latest in a series of tragedies at the notorious lake rumored to be haunted. There were 13 deletions at Lake Lanier in 2023 compared to 3 at Allatoona, the lake with the next highest number of deletions in the state. The victim, identified as 73-year-old Matthew Mayo of Gainesville, was fishing out of a bass boat with his wife at the time of the incident. When the man tried to sit down in the seat, it became unbolted from the floor and caused him to fall into the water.
I remember
I still don't understand how this happened.
I remember this one.
But I understand how it happened. According to a statement from the Georgia Department of Natural Resources, Mayo did not resurface. Game wardens then located his body in 6 feet of water, and Hall County Fire made a recovery of the body. All swim areas at the lake are swim at your own risk, as there are no lifeguards on duty. Outside of swimming areas, Lake Lanier is known to be one of the most dangerous lakes because of boating traffic and submerged debris. Submerged debris. You see what they did? Per their information page, some 12 million people still visit Lake Lanier annually, though it also had the highest number of boating incidents, injuries, and boating under the influence, BUI, incidents in 2023. There have been 2 recorded drownings so far at Lake Lanier this year, a representative from the Georgia Department of Natural Resources confirmed at time. Lake Lanier is a man-made lake that was built over the historically black town of Oscarville. Although the community had a strong culture and economy, Oscarville residents were also subject to intense racial violence after 19-year-old May Crow, a white woman, was found dead in nearby woods in 1912. 4 black people were blamed for the crime. One of them, Robert Big Rob Edwards, was that word shortly after his arrest. Ernest Knox and Oscar Daniel, who were also blamed for Crow's death, were later tried and hanged. Mobs also came into the town to drive black residents out from Forsyth County. Churches and businesses were destroyed, leading black residents to abandon their homes. More than 1,000 people were displaced, according to the information page. Afterwards, Oscarville, as the black community knew it, was no longer. The government purchased 56,000 acres of private land to create Lake Lanier, which was funded with the $45 million Congress allocated for the project. Construction of Lake Lanier was completed in the 1950s and is currently owned by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. There are a number of conspiracy theories about the lake being haunted due to its devastating racial history. Part of that is due to the high number of accidents that have occurred because many of the structures that made up Oscarville, including cemeteries and school buildings, were not completely removed before the lake was filled. In 1958,
it's interesting if all black towns that were destroyed back in the day were somehow haunted. Like, why can't Tulsa be haunted?
But isn't that predominantly black though? Isn't Tulsa predominantly black though?
It doesn't have to go after them.
Oh, you mean like the spirits just come on the street and go after them folk?
Especially if their clan ancestors had anything to do with what happened.
I'm surprised they didn't gentrify Rosewood.
Think of it as Final Destination.
That'd be crazy. What if that was the origin of the whole thing?
Someone said, what if they did a Final Destination and based it on Lake Lanier?
That'd be crazy. But remember that idea I told you about last year? Yeah, basically something like that. All right, let's see. In 1958, 2 young girls, Delia Mae Parker Young and Susie Roberts, skidded off a bridge while crossing over Lake Lanier and disappeared, according to the Oxford American. Locals claim to have seen one of the victims, Parker Young, haunting the lake. Known as the Lady of the Lake, visitors allege that she drags people to the bottom of the lake. Okay. The lake also sits near Forsyth County, which was part of the Cherokee Nation before the U.S. government forcibly displaced indigenous people out of their homes and on a journey known as the Trail of Tears, according to the Oxford American. Lake Lanier has also been the subject of an episode of Netflix investigative series Files of the Unexplained. The lake also won Best Operated Lake of the Year in 1990, 1997, and 2002. So we're giving out awards now. Got it. And this is the story you did. Man drowns after jumping off boat at Georgia's Lake Lanier. Ramon Diaz Soria's death comes a month after a body police believe belonged to Justin Valencia, a 33-year-old father of 5 children was found at Lake Lanier.
Loved ones who were with that young couple during their final moment. Ready? Set, go. Billy and so
Wait, this ain't even the same story. Why is this in here?
Right, that says Maui.
That's
That's something else.
Okay. Georgia officials say they have located the body of a man who jumped off a boat and into a lake wearing an unsecured life jacket. Witnesses saw Ramon Diaz Soria, 27, leap into Lake Lanier in Forsyth County in the afternoon on Saturday, June 14th, once the vessel came to a stop, according to the Georgia Department of Natural Resources Law Enforcement Division. With his life jacket improperly secured, Diaz Soria went underwater, but only his life jacket floated to the surface, prompting a search, the department said. The Hall County resident was with friends on a rental tri-moon boat, the drowning report shows. Family and friends told officials that he could not swim, according to the report. So why did you jump in the water? Officers searched for Diaz Soria until it became dark, but they resumed their search in the morning on Sunday, June 18th. Using sonar technology, officials located the body 60 feet below the surface by the evening. Officials confirmed, adding that it had been sent to the local coroner's office. Diaz Soria's death comes a month after a body police believe belonged to Dustin Valencia, a 43-year-old father of 5 children, was also found in Lake Lanier. The reservoir is the largest lake in Georgia, and it contains over 38,000 acres of water and more than 690 miles of shoreline. Diaz Soria's youngest sister, Abby, said her family is in complete shock over the tragedy and has set up a GoFundMe page for funeral expenses. Ramon was everything to me. He wasn't just my brother. He was my best friend, my protector, and my biggest supporter. Anyone who knew him would tell you how kind, generous, funny, and full of light he was, Abby wrote on the fundraiser page. Abby urged everyone to keep her brother in their thoughts and hearts to keep Ramon's memory alive. I still can't believe he's gone. A piece of me is missing forever, she wrote. The loss is truly beyond words. While nothing can ever fill the void he's left behind, we want to honor Ramon the way he deserves. As of Tuesday, June 17th, the GoFundMe fundraiser has raised more than $16,000. I still don't know why you jumped in water you can't swim.
Right. I don't get that either. Maybe the lady in the lake told him to do it.
Yeah. I don't know why y'all keep doing this, but okay. Then we have this. This was also earlier this year. Lake Lanier deletion was intentional, Forsyth authorities say. A body was found floating near the 6 Mile Creek boat ramp before firefighters recovered the deceased woman from Lake Lanier. Chris's recent death at Lake Lanier was intentional, the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office said Friday. I'm surprised they actually still go there in February. But okay. Authorities say the body of 56-year-old Bertuzza Sayani of Lilburn was pulled from the lake around 6:30 p.m. Thursday. They received a call that a body had been flown near the 6 Mile Creek boat ramp, authorities said. After authorities determined Sayani was dead, the sheriff's office said firefighters then retrieved the victim and brought her ashore. No foul play is suspected in Sayani's death was an intentional act, authorities said. They confirmed to Patch that the person died by suicide. The sheriff's office did not release further details. Lake Lanier goes through Beaufort, Cumming, and Gainesville. Yeah. I still don't understand why y'all keep going in this boat. I don't understand why y'all keep going.
I guess they want to see if they can have the chance to actually beat it.
I mean, thousands of people beat it, but it's like, okay, how does that not scar you?
don't know.
And they still doing it. Like, how did we get the message? What happened with Kim Porter? How did we get the message? Not Kim Porter. What's her name? The one that was with Usher. I think I said that right.
I know her name is Tamika, but I can't.
Tamika. Sorry, Tamika. Yeah. How come we got the message and y'all didn't?
I guess they felt like they were invincible or untouchable.
Now they say this is the update. 7. Get off my screen. Jesus Christ. Get off my screen. 7 injured in fireworks explosion on Georgia Lake that is said to be cursed. Fireworks.
Well, if it's said to be cursed, then why you still keep going there?
It's like you said, they want to beat it. I don't know why. It's not something.
It's not like a prize. You know what? I bet you if they had a competition that says we'll give someone $1 million if they sleep on their boat in the middle of Lake Lanier and they're still on it by the next day when we come back and get you. I bet you many people would do it too.
Probably.
If you got to spend 24 hours on that lake, I bet you they would do it.
This is crazy. July 4th.
How far are you from Lake Lanier?
It's about an hour and a half. Because you got to go up 85 and then cross over 985. So yeah, it's about an hour and a half. It's like you're almost like that's like the edge of Gwinnett County. And then when you like on 85, you turn to the left and then go up 985. You go into like Gainesville and stuff. Yeah. It's about like an hour and a half. I don't even know why you would go there, but you know, that's like something you can avoid. It's not like it's on the way to something. But yeah, it's crazy. They don't care though. They still doing it. But they still do it. And like you see these videos, and these videos are showing you how they've done documentaries on this, and you still go.
The bodies. That's on them.
Huh?
That's on them.
Yeah, that's it.
The bodies.
Lake Lanier should be considered like the 13th wonder of the world because, all right. Randoms every year. I'm still going to Lake Lanier. Ain't nothing going to happen to me. Ancestors waiting on at the shore in Lake Lanier. They ain't waiting. They in the water. My coworkers talking about they spending a fourth on Lake Lanier. So if you're looking for a job, we'll be hiring soon. God. Talking about a few of us are renting a boat and going out to some lake called Sydney Lanier. Yeah, all right. Lake Lanier is not a lake. It's a massive crime scene. Yeah. And you don't care. Lake Lanier has a new pope. Y'all out of line. Now, y'all out of line.
I got it when I saw that picture.
Y'all out of line. Hey, look at it this way. Atlanta got the best of both worlds. Not only do we have Lake Lanier, but we also have a near active volcano at Stone Mountain. You got to love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think going to happen when that thing activates?
Atlanta ain't going to be around no more. Ain't nobody leaving from Hartsfield.
Do you think it's going to activate?
Probably. I mean, we are on the New Madrid fault, so anything's possible.
I know we're on a fault of some kind because I remember back in 2011 when that earthquake ran up the East Coast.
Mm-hmm. I think. Nah, you might be on that. You could be on the edge of it, of the New Madrid.
It's not clocking to you. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business, is it?
It says Lake Lanier every time a person gets in the water. You stand on business. Yeah, you standing on something, all right. And they gonna come see you. Lake Lanier said, leave me alone. I don't understand how y'all can see all the deaths that happen in Lake Lanier and still get y'all asses in the car to drive there, park and get in the effing water. Like, what's not clicking? They don't care. They really don't care. Ancestors in Lake Lanier every year. Y'all out of line. The White House should have a field trip to Lake Lanier. That would be so substantial to this administration. All right. All right. That's some crazy visuals right there.
It is. And the thing about it is, when someone sent it to me before I even read the caption, and I saw the video of a boat on fire in the water, I knew it was Lake Lanier.
Mm-hmm. We have a story out of Georgia. Boat on fire. Stop the video. we ain't even gotta figure out the details. Somebody died in a lake out of Georgia. We don't even need to know. Is it the same letters? Okay, very good. Move on.
Let's not think about Lake Lanier. Let's, as a people, think about Oscarville and the people of Oscarville. Let's think about that. Let's think about their lives, their families, because their families are probably some of our families, and we just don't know it. You know what I mean?
You know what's
Lake
funny?
Lanier is one of the best revenge stories ever.
Yeah. But you know what's funny? You know how they always like to tell y'all that y'all don't deserve reparations?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have all this recorded history, but they still say that.
Exactly.
Like, look, they have film. They have actual film where they, back in the day, where you had to crank the video camera.
Yeah.
When they made that large whirring sound. Look at this. But y'all don't deserve it.
Let them tell it.
Drive Negroes out.
Families are probably some of our families, and we just don't know it. You know what I mean? So with that being said, let's come together outside of fear. Let's learn our stories, and then let's stand on our stories. It's our story, because Oscarville is our story, and we shouldn't run away from our story.
That's crazy that those 3 towns used to be black. That's crazy.
Oh, that's why I did that. That's why I did the Black Massacre series to show y'all those towns that used to be in existence that aren't anymore.
We found somebody that survived it. They went on the water and survived it. So I guess they are going to be together forever. Oh, shit. I didn't even know that was Mark Merrill. Shout out to the wrestler Mark Merrill. All right. You know what? I think he probably survived it because when he was wrestling, he looked like Little Richard.
Wow.
Yeah. They go your tweet.
Notice it only took one black death that we know of for black people to not go there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
With them, it's a whole bunch of them, and he's still going out there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the one
like when they like the internet is undefeated. Go ahead, Tori. I'm sorry, but drowning in Lake Lanier and getting scammed by the water boys are 2 totally avoidable situations. Wow. Lake Lanier, they call me Big LA. Oh my God, what is wrong with black folk?
So you whores must think I'm playing. So you whores must think I'm playing.
They don't care. Oh man! So when they jumping in this water, they must be getting crippled by that church steeple or something. They crashing into the roofs of these buildings. I don't know how anybody. Y'all got to really think about that for a second. How that lake looked, and understand that it was a whole town under there.
Exactly.
I've lived in Southeast Georgia for 13 years. The only time I've ever heard about Lake Lanier is when someone died and they couldn't pay me to go there. No, you just run to Florida. If I was an angry water spirit trapped in...
Think about it. It's not even any underwater wildlife there.
No, there's fish down there. Yeah, people fish over there, but
and the fish ain't talking.
Shh. No, the fish just be looking at it. When they see a human, they be like, "Yeah, you dead."
Mm-hmm. You ever heard of this movie that came out years ago called What Lies Beneath?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of reminds me of that, except with black people, and it's more than one soul.
Yeah, I don't understand this. Lake Lanier on the 4th of July is a choice. Woo, the ancestors are going to be chomping at the bit for karma on such a symbolic day.
You just hear the words like.
I think about the day I almost lost my life. I think about the fact that I could have never come home to my mom and my family again that day. I remember going underneath the water vividly. While I'm talking to you, I can actually see that, and seeing the trees and just being in awe at the fact that there were trees down there. I didn't know how to explain that. Why was trees under the water? I don't know who saved me. I just know I feel like it was ordained and set by God.
No, them ancestors picked you up and said, "What the hell you doing in here?"
Yeah, the trees in the water is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was just the ancestral handout. Now, had you been PC, they would have left it down there probably.
Yeah, or South of Bordarian or Model Minority.
Yeah.
Lake Lanier every summer. Oh shit, here we go again. Go take a swim in Lake Lanier. Go ahead, nice tea girl. Go ahead.
I always say this. I say when it comes to Lord, what does Charlie Kirk say?
No, that's when he said Juneteenth shouldn't be a federal holiday. Yeah, he championed it in 2020.
When did he recently? Well, he says that every year.
Yeah, no, this is the one he said this year.
I mean, I know that he said. I mean, what I'm saying is he says that every year. Every time Juneteenth rolls around, he says that same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I bet he has something to say about the 4th too, though.
I mean, we could look real fast. I'm sure he did. Probably had a dumbass. Be grateful to be American. We have been given such a blessing. Let us keep it, preserve it, and give it to our children in even better shape than it was given to us, please. Here we go.
It's funny. Only people like Charlie Kirk think that the U.S. is the greatest country on earth.
Yeah, he gonna learn next year.
And I can't wait. I wish it could happen this year, but I guess patience is indeed a virtue.
Yes, sir. When they were like, "Yeah, I had to pay more tax this year, but that's okay because this is Trump's America." I'm like, motherfucker, do you realize what you just said? You pay more tax? That's okay. But you got mad at the... Never mind. We're sort of celebrating like the biggest bill of its kind ever signed. It's going to make this country into a rocket ship. Yeah. And we know what kind of rocket ship we talking about. One of Elon's. But Lake Lanier, boy, the undefeated lake.
Forever.
Remember this?
Wow.
Yeah, he tried it. He lucky the ancestors was like, no. We don't even want you. We don't even want you. You go to them race soldiers. We don't even want you. You know. Somebody said they actually saved his life. Lake Lanier is a black African American. Since some of y'all want to divide the two cemetery, y'all keep, huh? Why would you write that? Lake Lanier is so serene and peaceful, top tier Georgia destination. I'm sure the comments were real nice in here, right?
Yeah,
You got 39 comments
not,
and nine retweets.
That does not look like Lake Lanier.
No, I think it is.
Oh, I didn't know it had all those. I never seen it from this angle.
It might be. Let me see. No, I don't. You know,
I don't think so. Cause
I don't think so. I never seen
those
them
mountains. Right. Yeah.
Let me see. Where is the image address? Let me look this up. Actually, you know what? Let me do this. Where is it? Let me see. Yeah, that does look weird. I thought that was Stone Mountain for a minute. I'm like, I ain't never seen snow there, so this might be something else.
Right. And it has little purple flowers there. I ain't never seen no little purple flowers at Lake Lanier.
No. They said this is Grand Teton National Park.
Thought so. That ain't no Lake Lanier.
Yeah, don't do that. I heard it's a great place to swim, top tier. Okay. Nothing development on the east side of Lake Lanier. That is not Atlanta. You can swim on it. Yes, sir.
Oh, oh, that's from Friday the 13th.
You when anybody says go to Lake Lanier.
No, I ain't messing with you. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I'm not messing with you.
Also remind me of that scene from Scary Movie.
Which one?
The one with the news reporter.
Oh yeah.
He said they killing white people. Like, we get the fuck out of here.
They never learn. What swamp things under there?
I wouldn't want to tempt fate to investigate if it was. I'm like, if it's there, let them have it.
That'd be a hell of a kaiju, wouldn't it? That might actually be a fire movie, Atlanta Kaiju. You're throwing lemon pepper. You be eating lemon pepper wings and throwing them and crushing buildings. That'd be kind of funny. Lake Lanier never trends for a good reason. True. Me confidently swimming in Lake Lanier this summer because God is in control of my life. Why would you do that to the baby? Why would you use the baby to put that message up?
On a flip side of that clip, that baby at that age has good control to stay afloat like that.
Mm-hmm. Look at this homepage. Discover Lake Lanier. Take a trip you'll never forget.
And a trip you may never come back from.
What if there's a time warp under there?
No, what really gets me though, like that one last year that we was talking about the guy who fell into the boat and he got submerged into the water and he never came back up. Usually when a body is like that, it'll float back up, but it just stayed there like an anchor.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there was this one. How do you slip on the dock?
I think I remember that one.
Saturday night, where 2 people fell into the water and did not recover. And officials who volunteered
I think this was the one.
County knows that he spoke with family members of his home. Connected to his mother, as you can imagine, they're absolutely devastated.
Why her eyes look like that?
It's the quality.
To the water and never resurfaced.
The Labor Day holiday weekend has already proven to be deadly on Lake Lanier. 23-year-old Gavry Whitlock of Snellville drowned Saturday night after investigators say he fell into the water.
You go to the lake to have fun, and then something like that happens.
His family
It's not like y'all don't know the history of it. I don't think you
Right.
would like it if people were playing on your roof. But they'll never. They'll like. I don't know what to tell them.
Members shared this picture of the 23-year-old, telling me over the phone they're absolutely heartbroken. Hall County first responders got to the scene around 10 p.m. A team of firefighters located his body about 17 feet below the water.
Okay, so hearing that he slipped and fell, I mean,
That's crazy. I mean, there are just tons of people around, and it's a really safe area from what I can tell. I mean, every time I hear that, I'm amazed.
Hundreds of people taking.
I'm amazed your shirt was ripped and they let you on TV with that.
so hearing that he slipped and fell, I mean,
That's crazy. I mean, there are just tons of people around, and it's
What's up,
it's
Bob?
a really safe area from what I can tell. I mean, every time I hear that, I'm amazed.
Hundreds of people taking to social media to grieve and reflect on the type of friend Whitlock was. One person saying, quote, there was never a dull or serious moment when Gavry was in the room. Boaters like Fred Wilson have been out in the water every day this holiday
He
weekend,
leaving.
saying Saturday was probably one of the busiest.
Today, it's really not as bad. So a lot of people apparently partied Saturday and Sunday.
The circumstances surrounding the incident are still unclear, but neighbors say they knew something terrible had happened when they heard dozens of sirens and first responders rushing to the scene.
It's tragic. I can't imagine what they're going through.
And investigators say Whitlock was only in the water for about 10 to 15 minutes before they pulled him out. That's how quickly this tragedy unfolded. We're live in Hall County. Elizabeth Rollins.
Why does her eyes look like that? She's bothering me.
I can't imagine what they're going through.
I feel like she think a spirit gonna come out that water.
Investigators say Whitlock was only in the water for about 10 to 15
I bet the
minutes
news
before
reporters
they
get
pulled
scared
him
when they
out.
have to
That's
do
how
reports
quickly
by that lake.
You see how far that black woman was?
Mm-hmm.
She was away from the water, behind the gate, on the street.
And the thing is, they don't think about shutting the lake down. They keep that thing open. It's like,
Yeah, especially
okay.
with that new water park there. Oh, before we go, family, I showed my wife this yesterday. You gotta see the homepage of this water park, and it pissed me off. I see what they're doing.
What, they put black people on there?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of figured that.
First picture. I don't know if they're gonna show it. I saw it on mobile. I don't know if they're gonna show it on. Because like right when you look on the mobile, like on the right side is a black person going down a water slide.
I can't.
And I'm
see.
like, dude. I'm like, dude, that's what we doing? Damn, they don't have it on the mobile. Let me see if it's on mobile. I'm like, okay, great. You got a black person there going down the slide. You think we gonna go? Hey, I saw a black person go down a water slide. I gotta go see it now. Nope. Let me see. Yeah. So Margaritaville Resorts. Might be this one. Yeah. Look at this. And you got the white kid watching him. Like, come on.
Is that the actual park?
Yeah, this is the water park.
When did they open up?
I think it opened I think last year. Like, come on, bro.
Yep, won't be going to that.
Mm-hmm. And they even have it for winter access. Why would I go here in the wintertime? Had to swirl. Had to have that there. Because it's Atlanta. This is new Swirl Central. Had in the Intimidator. Fin Dunker. Yeah, the safe stuff, they put their people there. The rest of it, nah. They even got the little kids there. Y'all really don't care about these kids, boy.
I'm telling you, it's a Final Destination event ready to happen.
I hope they paid that black guy a lot of money to take that picture because you right on the website on the homepage. I wonder how much they charging. Now they said they charging $109 for the summer, and you got unlimited times you can go, and free parking and a discount. I don't know what that discount is.
The no death discount.
Well, you got to sign that waiver, I'm sure. Share your story. Yeah, we went there. My people ain't come home. Now what? Let's see. Plan your stay. Let's see how much they want to charge it. Let's do the 18th to the 21st. Let's see. What? No, I don't care. TA. I don't care. Email. Leave me alone. Damn it. So RVs. Okay. $423 for a cabin. No campsites. They ain't got shit. Look at this. They ain't got nothing. Where the hotels at? So this is only for RVs? I don't want that. I want where them hotels at? Let's try this again. Let's start fresh. Okay. United States, Georgia. What time you say you starting your thing?
At 11:40.
Okay. Probably got like another 5 minutes and I'm out of here. So you can only do RVs? That doesn't make sense. Let's do Tuesday through Friday. Wait, I might have went too fast. Hold on. Club Jekyll Industry Night. I don't know what that is. Tent cottages. What is this? Waterfront. Okay, that's for your RV again. Jamaica Me Crazy. Lord. Barefoot Bungalow. Look at these prices to put your life on the line.
Missions, Cramp Crystal Lake ain't got nothing on Lake Lanier.
Yeah. Let me see what they got up in
At
here.
least you can run away from Jason in hopes that you get away.
Yeah. Now here's a question. So this is the front door.
You want to call it a door.
Bunk beds. Okay. That's the shower. Oh Lord. So where you eat, you could shower. Okay. Okay. So the death's door is right at the
And
your
I'm sure
footsteps
that
from
every
death's
night
door.
while they're asleep, the spirits come and go and watch them.
Right. You see the spirits go on the lake. Why do y'all do this to yourselves? But okay, I guess they
It's a reason why the Final Destination movies don't have one yet with a majority black cast.
Mhm. This is insane. Yeah, okay. Y'all got it. Anyway, y'all, they'll never learn. But they got to find out the hard way.
Yep.
But I thank you for this, Torian, even though there was nothing much to talk about.
I mean, it's another day, another death, I suppose.
Yeah.
That late.
Let's just make sure they
Or
didn't have
injury.
one yesterday. Wait, this is another one? No, this can't be the same one. Are you, bruh? They just had another one. My God. I'm not even lying, fam. This is another one. Breaking news. This is hilarious. Watch this. Honey. They had another incident at Lake Lanier yesterday. No, come look. Get to work. I can't believe this. Another boat explosion in North Georgia, at least 7 injured. This is different than the one we did first. Bless her heart. Look at this.
They said what did they say? A second 4th of July? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
because remember the first one was on the 3rd. This one happened yesterday. But this isn't the one I told you about yesterday. This is another. This one happened yesterday. The Georgia Department of Natural Resources is investigating the second 4th of July boat explosion. Officials say 7 people were injured when a same amount of people, like the first one.
And you know what 7 means, right?
Mm-hmm.
Completion.
Mm-hmm. Were injured when a boat exploded on Lake Nottely in Union County on Friday afternoon. So they were on the Union County side. Okay. They say the boat had just gotten fuel at Cozy Cove Marina and was idling away when the engine cut off. When they attempted to crank the engine back up, it exploded. The boat burned to the waterline before sinking at the shoreline. Union County fire officials say 2 of the victims were flown to Grady Memorial Hospital, where one has burns to 70 to 80% of his or her body, and the other has burns to 20 to 35% of his.
Off the ship.
I'm thinking of the Wellstar Cobb Medical Center. I was to that Union General Hospital. The boat was going towards the road near Margarita. Wherever the boat came in along with the rest of the whole. Oh, that was the other. Oh no. Yeah, earlier on Friday, a boat exploded. This happened on Friday too. That's insane. Oh. There you go. They couldn't crank the engine and the engine exploded.
See, at that point, they would have been better off having some paddles and paddling back.
I wouldn't even know, because you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna paddle and then it's gonna slip out their hand. They're gonna try to get it and they ain't gonna come back.
Well, true. Well, there you have it.
Leave that motherfucker alone. Oh my God. Next thing I hear is gonna be a shark attack. Never listen. But anyway. Hopefully y'all learned something. If you did, done my job. If not, well, today we did our job. If not, we'll try to be better next time. Brother Torian will be live with y'all again in 45 minutes. Where y'all gonna be talking about Ray Caruth.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. I will stay abreast now of what's going on at Lake Lanier this weekend, because considering this is the last day of the 4th of July weekend. But anyway, we will see y'all tomorrow for talks, unless something else happens. Anyway, y'all take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos or the ancestors. We're gonna change it today. You know what to do when the ancestors try to give you a warning. You leave. Yes or no?
Or don't go at all.
Right. They talk to us every night, you others. And they give us they make sure it's drilled in our head, like the president has to do his cognitive test. They want to make sure where's some places you don't visit. Anywhere predominantly white at night and Lake Lanier. Anyway, enjoy it.
Time's up.
But did we have a good time here? Hello?
Gotta get your groove on.
At the end of the day gotta end.
He's able to hit that. It looked like he was going for the standing ovation earlier on. RKO out of nowhere!
That's it.